Only back to answer some of the questions. I'll start with this one, but I will put some little ones up here that I will also be answering as I get to them. Hello, if you don't know me, my name is George. I am 30 years old. I have 4 children and I have one child who is neurodiverse. I will be using they, them pronouns, not because my child uses those pronouns, just because I want to, I guess, make it not obvious which child I am talking about. Now, there is a huge difference between the way a female neurodivergent person presents versus a male. Yeah, you can read between the lines, I guess. The way I realised that my child was different or neurodivergent was from a young age. We would go to play groups, mums groups, all of those kind of things. And I would see children of a similar age acting, I guess, a lot more chill than my child. My child was very hyperactive and was very hyper-focused on a lot of things. They were sensory seeking and they would pretty much be attracted to water. I could not keep them away from any running water, a tap, anything. It was like to the extreme. Every time I'd go to the maternal health nurse, I would bring up the behaviours I was noticing and they would always tell me, no, they'll grow out of it. It's age appropriate, which it was kind of at the time. But when it got to about 4 or 5 years old, that's when it became not age appropriate anymore. Now, the way I have managed burnout is I actually elicited a lot of help. But the help I actually seeked out, I'm really exposing myself here, guys. But I actually self-referred to Orange Door, like no word of a lie. I was struggling really bad with a previous relationship and my children's father. And I was really struggling with just parenthood in general and parenting a child who I had no supports for and no way of knowing how to access those supports. So I self-referred to Orange Door and just pretty much said, I need help. I ended up quitting my job, which I loved, but my child needed me 24/7 at that point. And we were having hours of meltdowns every night. And my other child would be sitting on the couch, just waiting for the meltdowns to end because it was just me. It was literally just me doing it all. I don't even know how I survived on reflection of it all. But when I went to Orange Door, they were so helpful. They pretty much were just like my personal assistants and they just helped me schedule appointments, manage appointments, figure out how to access NDIS and everything like that. They helped me with my previous relationship and everything that was happening there. Obviously, Orange Door is very specific how you can access it. I was very grateful that I was able to, and life-changing experience for me and my children. Now, I've gone through many stages of grief as a parent, but I think the best thing that I can say is you're gifting your child by getting your child diagnosed and getting early intervention. You're gifting them the understanding of themselves. You're going to help their self-worth, their confidence, and all of those things, because it is not, I can't even express the trauma that it is of knowing there's something different about you but not understanding what it is. And that was my childhood. So I was not diagnosed until very later in life, and I spent my whole childhood thinking I was an idiot. Like, I was like, why can I not do everything that everyone else does? Why do I struggle with these social skills? Like, it was painful, and I would never want anyone to ever feel like that. Encourage people to not think about how it makes them feel with their child being diagnosed, but how it can empower their child. And even though it's super, you go through a lot of stages of grief, I know I definitely have, it's long-term beneficial. Now, there's so much research supporting that ADHD and I believe autism now does have a genetic component to it. So when my child got diagnosed, a lot of other people in our family and in our broader family got diagnosed, which is pretty amazing to think that my child and all the work I did for that has allowed so many other people to get diagnosed and to understand themselves better and heal so many wounds that we've carried throughout our childhood. I will be honest, and I hope this doesn't come across as horrible, but because there is a genetic component, it does make me anxious for all my other children, and I am hyper vigilant with a lot of their behaviours, and I am watching them like so hardcore. I feel like it actually is sometimes a bit overwhelming because I'm almost waiting for like the sign that there's something there and we need to go down the same pathway. And yeah, it's really difficult, but that's just something that I'm really aware of. And I, again, want to do a service to my children to make sure that they get the early intervention they need and things like that. Another question I got was about my child's school setup. So we go to mainstream school. My child's IQ is too high to access like additional needs specialist schools, and that's fine. We have an aide in the classroom who we love and we have a great relationship with. I guess I just really want to make sure that my child doesn't lose their personality in the process, because we're living in a neurotypical world as such, and it's a fine line between teaching social skills but not having them lose their personality and conforming to society standards. And that's something I'm very big on. And I think we're doing really well to find a good balance of the two, because I want my child to be able to go out into the world and have a job and not feel overwhelmed with anxiety, and be able to be a part of society and find their place without the anxiety that can come along with it. Okay, this has gotten so long. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to edit this down. But yes, if you have any more questions, I'm so happy to answer them. I hope I've kind of covered some things. This will probably be part 2, I assume. But yeah, thanks for listening.